everybody, and welcome to Ocean Bus Göteborg, the city's first and only amphibious bus tour. Välkomna allesammans till Ocean Bus Göteborg, stadens första och enda. He was part Swedish, part Scottish, but they lived here in Gothenburg. And back then, there were only about 10 people that went. No, Martin, no. Well, Martin founded a small company named Spotify. Den brusande hamnen bjuder dig stora famnen till ett hjärta som är Götaplatsen and the statue of Poseidon. Poseidon being the Greek god of the sea. He was built by Carl Milles in 1931. Now, originally, Carl Milles, he wanted to make Poseidon's private parts a lot bigger. These that costed 3 million euros to build. Det var alltså 30 miljoner kronor som Göteborgs skattebetalare fick rusta upp för det vackra vattenspelet på vänster sida. So, the avenue, it was built in the early 1800s, but back then we only had large mansions here on this street, and Götaplatsen, it was a large cornfield. Today we only have hotels, restaurants and shops here. Every year, 17 million people passes this street. Which we wouldn't have if it weren't for John Eriksson. Låten jag spelar denna gången 3 stars. And it is also the best place for Pokemon Go in all of Sweden, just so you know. Yeah, free to go inside. It is very beautiful in there, especially when the weather holds up. Today it is perfectly. And on your right side again, you will see the Great Theatre where the tour started. And this theatre opened in 1859. Back then, it was the second largest theatre in all of Sweden, second next to the Royal Opera in Stockholm. Kyrkan har vi på högersidan here, and it has nothing to do with religion whatsoever. It's a food hall collection with restaurants that only focuses on seafood. Today it is also a landmark, so you can't rebuild or destroy the exterior. It is supposed to look just like that. You'll see a very famous millionaire from Norway. We enter it now that we har hotelldraken här. And this hotel, it costed 3 times as much as they originally planned because of COVID. Hotel Dragon though got nothing on this next building on your right side. That is the Karla Tower, Karlatornet, which is now the highest building in all of the Nordic region. 246 meters and 73 meters. Before we enter the water, we need to transform our bus driver into a captain and go. as we now transform our bus Håkan into a boat. So, we just drove into Göta älv, Göta River, and part today Göteborg from this river, Göta. Borg, that means fortress in English, so Borg means the fortress of the river. And you're gonna understand a large red crane, buck crane. It is 84 meters high, 100 meters wide, and if you look on the top of the where it says Eriksberg, that is actually 8 meters high and hollow. So it has been discussed to build a restaurant inside the name. It hasn't come out yet, but it will be. And in the summer of 1993 it was used as a bungee jumping platform. Now it has been away from large ships without adequate management. Och vi har på försidan är Hisingen, Sveriges femte största ö. So this island on your right side, that is Hisingen, the fifth biggest island in Sweden. Then in the Great Kalmar War 1611, the Danes came over. They burnt it all down. So we rebuilt Gothenburg on, so we should have celebrated our 400th anniversary 3 years ago, but we didn't last year's then because of the pandemic. So also King Gustav Adolf II, he was on rebuilt Gothenburg on mainland. And in front of us you will also see this bridge over here, that is the Älvsborgs Bridge, Älvsborgsbron, which was built in 1967. It is 900 meters long to about 4 meters. Så det tog alltså 4 år att färdigställa Älvsborgsbron, och när det då byggdes 1967 och kostade hela. think it is red because a Swedish officer was killed there and his blood stained the rock red, but that is not correct. The real reason why it is red is because Gothenburg banned a lot of cannons inside the city. One day we needed to try out Harvard Sugar. Do we have any Danes on board today? I don't think so. Nobody from Denmark, right? No. Okay, good. I'll tell this next story. Take a look on the building on your right side. The tower is kind of up on a mountain. Today that is an old sugar refinery. It was built in 1901. But before that we had the Älvsborgs castle over there. So the interesting thing with this castle is during all of our wars against the Danes, they managed to conquer it 4 times. Then they demanded a ransom all these times. Today, Sweden, we have paid about 1 trillion Swedish kronor just to get our own castle back, which is like 1 billion billions. Then the king, he got tired of this. He tore the castle down, took the stones from the castle to build Älvsborgs fortress that I quoted on earlier. And that is for sure Sweden's worst investment of all times. But with the sugar they made in that sugar refinery, they made alcohol in the building next to it, because that is a former brewery. On your right side is a large red building which has waterfront. It was started by a German man named Abraham Lorentz in the 1800s. Then he sold it to a Scottish guy called Carnegie, hence the name of the beer we heard of, Carnegie Porter. Yeah? And Carnegie also built the church on your right side, over here behind that tree, as an exact replica of a church in his old hometown, Charleston in Scotland. So that is St. Bridget's Chapel, St. Bridget's Cafe. Alright, we bought this as a brand new Volvo truck, and then we shipped him over to the name John in America, because he knows everything there is to know about amphibious vehicles. So this is actually homely built. Yeah? Makes you feel safe, right? Yes, good. Also a Volvo engine under here, with 320 horsepower, which gives us power to the propeller and water to the wheels when we are on the Now, the most commonly asked question I get on these tours is, what happens to the wheels when we go inside the water? So, I would like to hear your guesses first. What do you think happens? Think that? Maybe? Yeah? Or that they go up in a bus? And I wish they did, because it would be cool, but they don't. Nothing happens. They get wet. It's not cooler than that, unfortunately. But to build one of these, it costs about 600,000 euros here on your right side. And this part is a bit tricky for our captain over here, because there's a lot of underwater currents, also algae up on the ramp. So, the speed where they will go up has to be spot on. If we go too slow, we'll slide back into the water. We will have to try again. But if we go too fast, we may slip off. We have to use the orange probe, our real probe behind the steering wheel. So, Captain, how are you feeling? Hur känns det? No problem. Give a big round of applause. play 3 songs. Try to guess the name of the song and the name of the band. I'm gonna start out easy. First one, just call it out if you know the answer. Ace of Base, yes, Ace of Base, and a song. So, why am I playing Ace of Base, ABBA, and Rosette? Swedish bands, yes, of course. Ace of Base, they're actually founded here in Gothenburg in the 90s. Also from the Amerikaterminalen, eller Amerika. Sweden to America, and that was one of the main terminals landing in Sweden. We also have a famous actress here there. Her name is Frida. Remember her? Those famous Americans in South Africa. Now, we are also driving alongside the docks of Stena Line on the other side. And Stena Line was founded by a Swedish man. The lipstick. And this building has actually won prizes here in Sweden. Yes, it has won prizes for being the ugliest building in Sweden. Twice. Byggnaden är också en Göteborgsstiftning enligt den svenska kyrkan. So we hired a lot of Dutch and German engineers to build ditches. And I'm going over one of these right now. This is Rosenlundskanal. And in the 1600s, Gothenburg was one of the most well-protected places, Carolus Rex, named after one of our kings. And that has also been used as a storage for gunpowder. I am talking about the cranes over here, because those are actually called Gothenburg trams. Today they are only a memory of our Gothenburg harbor. It used to be here inside the city, and they've been attempted to be demolished many times, but big companies like Volvo and also Stena Line stepped in and bought them. So today they are a permanent part of the Gothenburg skyline. And I told you earlier that this is a Volvo truck, but I never told you why we chose Volvo. Do you have any guesses? Yes, it's a Swedish company, of course, yes. And we have the head office here in Gothenburg to this day. And Volvo, it was founded here in Gothenburg in the 90s. Your right side now, you will see the statue of Jules, the man who taught the Swedes to eat potatoes. Yes. Left side we have the City Museum of Gothenburg, and there since 1993. The building next to that one, this yellowish building, that is the German church. Because Gothenburg was being built by Germans, and before that in Sweden they wanted to build a church of them. Now, one last time, on your left side, you will see the square of Gustav Adolf, the king who chose to build Gothenburg. You can see the statue of him. He's pointing down to the ground. That is what we think he stood like when he said that here is where the city should be. Här ska staden ligga. It is a very famous quote here in Gothenburg. Now, before I let you off this tour, I'm going to tell you a story about Oceanbus. So, we actually founded this company in 2014 in Stockholm. But back then we only practiced during the nights. We want to keep it hidden, and people are drowning So calm and quick. So we have the police department, fire department, and a newspaper. They're all waiting for us without any permits or something, so it's not very good. Next day, we are at the front page of the newspaper with the headline, Amphibious Bus Disaster. Now, you need to know that the bus name in Stockholm, it is Estelle. So, 3 weeks later, finally open for the public, we get a booking on the tour for Mr. and Mrs. Anderson. When we arrived, we had the Crown Princess Victoria, Crown Prince Daniel, and their daughter Estelle. Yes, she had seen the bus in the newspaper, and of course wanted to go on the bus was named after her. But they also brought about 15 lifeguards, so I think it was a pretty special day at work, at least. But that was the day learned there is no such thing as baptism. But now, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we are rolling in towards the Great Theatre again. I hope you're a bit more smarter, maybe a little bit more wiser than you did an hour ago. And if you enjoyed the tour and you would like to leave a tip, you're welcome to do so in the captain set in the front in the bus. But also, if you'd like to leave a review on TripAdvisor, and my name is... However, if you did not like the tour, you're still going to write about us. But my name is Emma and the captain name is David. Thank you very much for coming, everybody, and goodbye.